Alright. The name is Dale, doing the movie reviews for Shazam, Pet Semetary, and I'm also going to do a quick recommendation and review of the Amazon series Hanna. These reviews and recommendations are done on behalf of Audio Liquor Magazine. I'm going to start off with Shazam. First off, I'm going to give you a brief history on Shazam. The character is based on a comic book. The character was created in the 40s, I believe, by this small independent comic book company. I forgot the name of the company. And DC Comics did not like them putting out a comic book with this character because the character has so many similarities to Superman, had basically the same powers, same look. So DC Comics got the rights to that character from that independent comic book company, but they didn't use the character for a certain amount of years. And from my understanding, if you don't use the character in a certain length of time, you lose the rights. So Marvel Comics required the rights to the Captain Marvel name from DC. What Marvel did, they created their own character and just gave that character the name Captain Marvel, if that make any sense. But DC Comics still had rights to the character itself, just not the name. So DC decided to bring the character back and they just named him Shazam. So now we have what we have today. So the movie Shazam is about this 14-year-old foster teenager boy named Billy Baxton, who's played by Arthur Angel, I believe that's his name. And he transforms into this grown-up superhero named Shazam. So basically you have a teenager in a grown-up superhero's body. So he still has the mentality of a teenage boy in a grown man's body. And the film is a mix of Superman, Big, that old Tom Hanks movies from the 80s, and a little of the Goonies in my opinion. And the cast consists of Zachary Levi, who plays Shazam. You got Mark Strong, who plays the villain. You got Jack Daniel Grazer, who plays Billy Baxton's friend called Freddy. And you also, to my surprise and my shock, Megan Good is in this movie as well. That was a pleasant surprise. I was shocked on how hard Mark Strong's character goes. He's the villain and he goes hard in a couple of scenes. He pushes the envelope and he does some things in the movie I didn't expect. I don't want to spoil anything, but I thought he was going to be your run-of-the-mill typical villain, and he went hard in a few scenes. I was like, whoa, he did that? So that was a pleasant surprise. The movie itself is very fun, entertaining, it's hilarious. It made me laugh out loud a couple of moments. I think this is a movie that kids and adults can enjoy. I would say the weight of the movie is carried by this band of foster kids in this foster home, especially the little black girl. She makes me laugh. She has a lot of personality. And you got the little Asian kid too, who makes me laugh as well. You know, the movie, the action scenes are solid. The special effects are cool, but it's the kids that really carry this movie, and you see them building this bond between each other and learning to accept each other as brother and sister, even though they're all foster kids. So I think that really was the heart of the movie. You got some drama as well with the kids. I was surprised by the last final battle at the end of the movie. I did not see that coming, even though I should have. I thought they would save that for the sequel, but they didn't. They just went all out, I guess, with this first movie, not knowing if they would get a sequel. It's making money at the box office, and they already greenlit a sequel, so it's getting a sequel. The only problem I had with this movie is Shazam is supposed to be Billy Baxton, but when Billy Baxton's a teenager, he seems different from when Zachary Levi is playing Shazam. They don't seem like the same person. Billy Baxton is very reserved to himself. He seems a little more mature than his age would suggest. And then when Zachary Levi plays Shazam, even though they're supposed to be the same person, Zachary Levi, Shazam's character, is very comical, very silly, like the class clown type. And that wasn't Billy Baxter when he's just a teenager. So I thought it was some discrepancies on that. When they're supposed to be the same person, they didn't seem like the same person at times. So that was my only problem with the movie. But nonetheless, this is a very good movie. I will give it a B+. This is my second favorite movie in the DC Cinematic Universe. I'm going to rank them from first to last. Man of Steel is still king, is still my favorite. Then Shazam will come in second. I will give third to Batman vs. Superman, the Ultimate Edition, not the theatrical version, the 3-hour Ultimate Edition, Extended Edition. And I will give the fourth ranking to Wonder Woman, I guess. Then I will go Justice League at 5th, go Suicide Squad at 6th, and then I will give last to Aquaman. I really didn't care for Aquaman. That will be last in this universe. I think I got all of them. I think I remember all the movies in there. I think that's it. But anyway, we're going to move on to Pet Semetary. Hug Your Daughter. It's a horror flick based off a Stephen King novel. My mother had the book Pet Semetary when I was a kid. I remember that. And I remember seeing the movies in the 80s. And it was really good. I really dig the original version of Pet Semetary, the 80s movie. I believe it came out in 1989. Well, this is a remake somewhat. The movie is about Dr. Lewis Creed and his wife and 2 kids, son and daughter. They relocate from Boston to rural Maine, and the couple, they soon discover this mysterious burial ground hidden deep in the woods, like right near their house. We're gonna say right near their house, but like near their property or on their property. And the deeper you go into this pet cemetery, if you bury your pets at a certain spot in the burial ground, it resurrects the pets from the dead. They come back alive. And the cast, you have Jason Clarke. He plays the father. You got John Lithgow. He plays his neighbor. What they did with this movie that's different from the original one that came out in 1989, they flipped the script. I don't want to spoil anything, but the threat in the original Pet Semetary had more, I would say a lot more impact than the antagonist or the threat in this new version. And I thought they kind of missed the boat. I understand that they wanted to change it up and not make it exactly like the original one, but it didn't work nearly as well as the original did. And that was my problem with it. I thought the movie was watchable, but forgettable. It's like you'll see it, and then you wouldn't think no more about it after you see it. It's one of those type of movies. Not a movie I think you need to go to the theaters to see. It's a movie you can watch at home. I was going back and forth. Is it a C? Is it a C+? I'm going to go ahead and be nice and land on a C+. It's not a bad movie. It's just forgettable, so to speak. So now I'm going to move on and do a recommendation and / review of the Amazon series Hanna. It's 8 episodes, I believe. It's based off the 2011. I believe that's when the movie came out. It's based off a movie that came out in 2011. And it's a series, action, thriller, coming of age drama that follows the journey of this extraordinary young girl who's raised deep in the forest by her father, and she avoids this relentless pursuit of her from this off the book CIA agent, and in the process of doing this, she discovers who she really is, her history, things of that nature. I don't want to spoil anything. The acting is on point. I really dig the story. The action is cool. The cast is Joel Kinnaman. He's been in several movies. He was in Suicide Squad as Rick Flag. And the CIA agent, I forgot her name, but her and Joel, they also played in this, I believe it was FX or AMC's series called The Killing, which is now on Netflix. You can see that. The Killing is very good. It's, I believe 4 seasons. And those 2 actors played in that. And that's a very good series. So check that out on Netflix. I believe it's on Netflix. So you got a solid cast. I love the last episode because it sets up the second season to be even better. I really like how they fleshed out the characters compared to the movie, and how it gets even more crazy with this undercover experiment that the government's doing, that the CIA is trying to hide. I don't want to give too much away, but I highly recommend you watch this. I would give it an A-. It's an easy binge, 8 episodes, like I said. And also, speaking of Pet Semetary and Stephen King, I also want to recommend you check out Mr. Mercedes. I've only seen the first season so far. I believe it's on the Audience channel, which I don't have, so I had to rent the first season to be able to see it because I don't have that channel. But anyway, Mr. Mercedes is an audio series that's based off a Stephen King book, and it's very good. Very good. Check that out as well if you haven't seen it or not aware. I'm done. I'm finished. There you go. Oh, not to confuse anybody that's watching this or listening to this, the original name of Shazam was called Captain Marvel, which I was explaining the history of that character in the beginning. I know that gets confusing because we just had a movie not too long ago that came out called Captain Marvel that was under the Marvel brand. But when this character Shazam was created in the 40s, his original name was Captain Marvel. And I explained all how the rights went to Marvel with the name and how DC just changed the character name to Shazam. Okay, I'm done. I'm finished for real this time.